Good evening, everyone. Hope you all can see me. Good evening, Madam Ashwini, and good evening, my dear kids. Yes, maybe we have to wait.
Good evening, and good evening, students.
Yeah, better we wait for one more minute for the others to come. But still, since we have friends here, we can actually take anything that you may need discussion before we start the session today. And today we've noted that all the batch 2 students have gained access to LMS. Therefore, there won't be a big issue of everyone making their progress through the LMS. And we have batch 1 students, some of you all are welcome here.
Okay, so good evening, students. As you can remember, first of all, can you hear me? If you want to see me, just I'm not in a place where I can switch on my camera, but just you can take a glance of me. Okay.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible and visible as well.
Yeah. So here, right. Yeah, right. So okay. So in our first session, we discussed about like using digital tools for academic research in STEM and why when you are into university, you should be very much concerned about research and how digital tools help in research. So let me quickly recap what we did in our last session. So yeah, so we talked about why digital literacy in research matters. I mean, us to write projects, essays based on academic research. So now, as we said earlier, like searching online, we don't have to teach you. You all know how to just Google or go to a simple search engine and get info. Like it's not just go to a generative AI platform and get info. That's all in our fingertips. But as scholars, as university undergraduates, you should be known to the scholarly information sources that are available in the internet. So here comes the academic databases. So these contain peer-reviewed, trustworthy information. And we introduced a special search engine called Google Scholar. So unlike normal Google, it only shows, now we said it only shows the research papers, thesis, dissertation, book chapters, conference articles, likewise materials that are related to the genre of academia, so academic writing. So you can find like useful academic serious uh, findings using this Google Scholar engine as search engine. And also we talked about like certain metrics which shows that how you can evaluate the sources that are in Google Scholar. So we talked about certain matrices, but first we talked about like how you have to set up your Google Scholar profile. So it's very simple knowledge. So you all can just, yeah, we did a small demo. So I hope that by now all the students in the class have created their Google Scholar profiles and they have searched something using Google Scholar. And here come now, yeah. So we talked about two important number, like, yeah. So we talked about so in Google Scholar, you can save you can keep there's a library where you can save all the articles or the papers you refer or you are willing to or hoping to refer in the future, and you can follow certain user profiles in Google Scholar if you are very much interested in their research. And we talked about two important indexes, H index and IRO index. Now, its index is like it shows how often your work is cited or used by others. For example, in your Google Scholar profile, imagine there's a paper, and then if the H index is 4, it says that your paper has 4 citations, right? And yeah, so IDO index is also if your paper is cited 10 plus times, and how many 10 plus times that your paper is cited is represented by the IDO index. So we talked about, now Mr. Prasanna talked about the analogy of the knowledge industry where you have to cite where people cite your research in their research and people cite your findings in their research papers, and in your article or the academic piece of writing you write, you cite other people's work. So that's how the knowledge industry evolves. And yeah, so we particularly talked about advanced search in Google Scholar using and or not techniques, and we did a small demo. Like we showed you a small assessment question, and then the first step was extracting the keywords and then combining or expanding or excluding using and or not these keywords and filtering by years. And you can also search by author or journal to find the exact papers that you need to find information to write your assignment or piece of writing. And alerts, and yeah, so that's where we stopped. And yeah, so yeah, Mr. Prasanna, so that's where we stopped. So today we'll be
Yeah,
just yeah.
yeah. Well, to begin with, let us ask from everyone whether you have got your Google Scholar account created and have you made any success in searching from Google Scholar. If you have done so, you can say just with a thumbs up that you did it. If you did not do it, we are inviting you to simply go to Google Scholar and make it right now because it's not a big deal. දැන් එතකොට අපි ඔය කියන විදිහට මීට පස්සේ නිකන් Google search එකක් කරලා හෝ generative AI එකට අපේ ප්‍රශ්නේ බාර දීලා නවතින්නේ නැහැ. ඔබ දන්නවා එතනින් අපේ කාරණේ සම්පූර්ණ වෙන්නේ නැති බව. So to make it more authentic, ඒක ඉතාමත් යථාර්ථවාදීව කරන්න ඕන නිසා අපි මොකද කරන්නේ? අපි ඇත්තටම පර්යේෂණ පත්‍රිකා තියෙන databases වලට ගිහිල්ලා හොයාගන්න. අපිට දැනට අපේ තියෙන සම්පත් එක්ක නිදහසේ සැරිසරන්න පුළුවන් ඩේටාබේස් එක තමයි Google Scholar. ඒ නිසා අපි ඔබට ආරාධනා කළා Google Scholarෙහි ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ ගිණුම විවෘත කරගන්න කියලා. දැන් බලන්න අපිට කියන්න කවුද Google Scholar ගිණුම විවෘත කරගෙන කාරණේ පටන් ගත්තේ සහ ඒකට දැනට අත්පොත් තබා ඇත්තේ කවුද? Who started using Google Scholar? If you did so, you can say yes. If you didn't do it, you can say no. Ladies and gentlemen, my question is clear, I wish. Yeah. Adipa confirms that he started. Great. Great, Adipa. What about the others? Minoda, Umesha, Yasasi, and Ishara? How about you? Did you start using Google Scholar as your search tool by now? If not, don't worry. Yes, Minoda also confirms that she started. How about you, Umesha? Maybe you didn't have time to work on it. Ishara also says yes. Minoda confirms yes. Yeah. So it's typically everyone who are currently using Google Scholar. So, madam, today we are going to look at a real example of doing a Google search, and we are going to actually compare the difference between, we can simply tell you the difference, but we would love to see how and what this difference is when you are doing this research with simple Google search and when you're doing it with Google Scholar. And today we are going to demonstrate on between what and what, ma'am? It's ChatGPT and Google Scholar, right? You're unmuted, ma'am.
Yeah, so it's simply any generative AI, any text or any information generated from any Gen A, and any information that we get from generative AI, that we take from generative AI versus the information that we extract from an academic database or or an search engine like Google Scholar. The two difference.
Well, shall we move ahead to the slide so that they'll be knowing what they're supposed to do?
Yeah, sure, right. Now we just only talked about Google Scholar, but this case where there are issues in Google Scholar because in the last session, if you can remember, Sir Prasanna talked about peer reviewing. What is the mechanism of peer reviewing? So now in Google Scholar, you might find articles which are not peer reviewed. So not peer reviewed is that article is not very much credible or trustworthy to cite in your work. So that's why we are researchers also use other sources beyond Google Scholar. They use Google Scholar also, but with that they go to another sources like Scopus, Science Direct, JSTOR, Village, Windsor. So when we talk about Scopus, uh, yes, so when we talk about Scopus, so Scopus is one of the biggest databases for scientific research. So now it is a database. So you all know what is a database is. It's a collection. It's a huge collection of papers, articles of scientific articles. So the thing is, these are trusted, and I mean, almost all the articles in Scopus are trusted, and they are peer-reviewed articles. And you can, and there's option for to filter subject or filter these articles by subject, author, and year and country. And you have yes in Scopus is like in Google Scholar there are certain metrics you can you have the H index and the journal rank. So H index shows how many times a certain paper is cited, and the journal rank, so there's journal rank, there's Q1 to Q4. So Q1 is the best. So if a certain paper is coming from a journal that is in Q1, so you can like it is very credible and trustworthy and very effective, that paper. So yeah, right. So yeah.
Yeah, what I wanted to highlight here is, these Q1, Q2, and all these circles. Actually, every university lecturer, a professor, and everyone do love to have their papers published in Q1 or Q2 journals. These are actually the journals where most of the up-to-date research is available. And of course, when you publish something in Q1 or Q2, what happens is there is a high chance that your paper will be cited by the others elsewhere. So why we are telling all this to you? ඔබ හිතනවා ඇති ඇයි මේ ඔක්කොම දේවල් මෙච්චර කියන්නේ විස්තර කරලා කියලා. ඒකට හේතුව තමයි පුතේ දුවේ ඔබ මේ ගමන පටන් ගන්න සූදානම් වෙන්නේ සරසවි STEM leader කෙනෙක් විදිහට. එහෙම නැත්නම් STEM aspirant කෙනෙක් විදිහට. ඒ ගමනේදී ඔබ නිර්මාණය කරන ඔබගේ ආටිකල් එක එහෙම නැත්නම් ඔබගේ පර්යේෂණය හරි තැනක ස්ථානගත වෙනවා දකින්න එක තමයි අපේ සිහිනය. එතකොට අපි මේ ඔබ මුල සිට සූදානම් කරන්නේ අන්නේ හීනය ඔගොල්ලෝ දකිනවා දකින්න. එතකොට හෙට දවසේ පුංචි පුංචි පර්යේෂණ වලින් පටන් අරගෙන පර්යේෂණය ඊටාම තීව්‍ර කරලා ඔබට පුළුවන් වෙන්න පුළුවන් බොහෝ විට ඔයගේ අවුරුදු 4 ඉවර කරන්න කලින් ජර්නල් පබ්ලිකේෂන් එකට යන්න. මොකද විශ්වවිද්‍යාලය ඇතුලේ ඔබට ස්ටුඩන්ට් රිසර්ච් සිම්පෝසියම්ස් තියෙනවා, යුනිවර්සිටි වයිඩ් රිසර්ච් සිම්පෝසියම්ස් තියෙනවා. ඒවයින් ඉස්සරහට ගිහිල්ලා මේ ට්‍රේනින් එක අරගෙන අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ ජීවිත කාලය ඇතුලේ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලේ පබ්ලිකේෂන්ස් කිහිපයකට උරුමකම් කියන දරුවෙක් විදිහට එළියට ආවි කියලා. ඒ නිසා තමයි මේ පුහුණුව මුල සිට ලබා දෙන්නේ. ස්කෝපස් ගැන අපි කිව්වා. Scopus, yes. Scopus is one of the most cited and at the same time it's one of the most expensive. පහුගිය සතියේ අවශ්‍ය වෙලා මම Scopus subscription එකේ වියදම කොච්චරද කියලා බලපුවාම මට දැනගන්න ලැබුණා ඒක දල වශයෙන් ඩොලර්ස් 3000ක් විතර වෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ මිලියනයක විතර වියදමක් යනවා අපිට ඒක subscription එක ගන්න. හැබැයි පුතේ අපිට individually ඒවට subscription ගන්න බැරි වුණත් ඔබේ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ බොහෝ විට පුස්තකාලය හරහා ඔබට ස්කෝපස් ඇක්සස් ගන්න පුළුවන්. විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයට ගිය සැනින් ඔයගලන්ට ලැබෙන ඉන්ෆර්මේෂන් ලිටරසි ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එකේදී ඔබට ලයිබ්‍රරි එකට යන්න chance එක ලැබෙවි. Once you get there, take the library scopus access as your first experience. So with that, madam, yes, we can go ahead with the slides.
Yes. So can do it, and then it's Scopus. We, we talked about Scopus, and then there's another again a data base called Science Direct. So it is run by Elsevier. So Elsevier is a major scientific publisher who publishes articles related to science or STEM. So in this Science Direct database, we have journals related to engineering, biology, chemistry, medicine, and also book chapters, conference papers, and other articles. So now the thing is that now Mr. Sir Prasad told that Scopus is very expensive to access, and also like if we are a university student, we can get some limited access to Scopus using our university login. But when it comes to Science Direct database, we can get the full text of mostly by not subscribing, and then you can save and download papers. And yeah, and also in Science Direct, most of the papers are reviewed and edited by experts. So yeah, we can take this as a credible source where you can extract articles related to STEM.
So, ladies
And
and gentlemen, yeah,
yeah,
Scopus, since it's expensive, if we really need, we can go through library, and of course, Science Direct is an alternative for that. So the Google Scholar to begin, and then Scopus when you have the access to library, and Science Direct, on which you don't need to pay, or rather there is no any payment gateway for you to reach there. You can reach Science Direct articles, which are also very high rated articles. So we have shown you 3 databases so far. Yes, madam.
right. Yeah. So, and this is just thing we talked about university library access. So if you have like okay you have this is so when you go to university you will get the access to most of the databases, academic databases. So make sure that you log in using the SSO credentials that are given to you by the university. So I mean, I don't like you to confuse you with these details because you are not still into university. But once you like when you start university and once you get this information from the library or during your pre-academic term orientation about these logins. Just if you have problems, just let us know and we are happy to help in that time. And then when you are evaluating sources, I mean, now you have multiple databases. Now Science Direct, Scopus is and Google Scholar are not only aren't the only databases that are available. We have Relay and we have Springer. Um, I mean, yeah, we talked about we have JSTOR and there are so many PubMed. There are so many other databases. So and when we take articles from here and there from these databases, now all information is created equal. Now, not all information is created equal. So there comes the problem. We have to evaluate the sources. I mean, uh, before you cite us or you like cite something that is given in an article, first you have to find out like who wrote this article. Are the writers of this article from a university? Is this university recognized? Is this article published in a well-known journal? I mean, is it a Q1 Q2 journal or and also has is this article, what is the number of citations for this article, and does it include all the evidence and data in this article? I mean, is it just not non-authentic data that is given in the article or something? So yeah, you have to like evaluate whether this source is credible, trustworthy or not. And please, I mean, it's good, but avoid like when you are uh, extracting information from the internet to use in your research studies or something, just like make it a habit just to not go to blog posts or opinion sites. I mean, these are not, I mean, blog posts and opinion sites, they are random websites where people just create their own website and put their own thoughts or something, and then they just, oh yeah. So you can, yeah.
Yeah, the very advice that we are giving you is quite simple. Since we are going to try an academic approach. අපි දැන් මේ කියන්නේ ශාස්ත්‍රීය ප්‍රවේශයක් ගන්නවා කියලානේ. In an academic approach, my dear kids, we do not actually, cite or rather give or take information from කැලෑපත්තර වලින්. අපි අර සිංහලෙන් කියන්නේ අපි කැලෑපත්තර වල තියෙන තොරතුරු වලින් නෙමෙයි අපේ කාරණේ කරන්නේ. අපි ශාස්ත්‍රීයව පළ වෙච්චි දේවල් වලින් ගන්නෙ. එතකොට කැලෑපත්තර කියලා කියන්න ඕනේ නැහැ බ්ලොග් පෝස්ට් ඔපිනියන්ස් වලට. නමුත් ඇකඩමියා එකේ අපි වැඩ කරද්දී බ්ලොග් පෝස්ට් වල ඔපිනියන් සයිට්ස් වල රැන්ඩම්ලි අපිට හම්බෙන PDF වල එහෙම නැත්නම් සෝෂල් මීඩියා සයිට්ස් වල ඔය තියෙන සයිට්ස් වල තියෙන දේවල් අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ශාස්ත්‍රීය ලේඛනයේදී පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ නැහැ. වැදගත් සහ ක්‍රෙඩිබල් එහෙම නැත්නම් ඉතා යහපත් මූලාශ්‍ර විදිහට අපේ කාර්යයට. So අපි යෝජනා කරන්නේ හරියට පබ්ලිෂර් ඉන්නවා නම් ඒ පබ්ලිෂර්ගේ යුනිවර්සිටි එකට ඇටච් නම් ඒ වගේම පාට තේරෙනවා නම් එයාගේ ආටිකල් එක තව අය පාවිච්චි කරලා තියෙනවා සයිට් කරලා තියෙනවා නම් එහෙමනම් ඒවා ඔක්කොම සාක්ෂි වාට ඔයා ගන්න මූලාශ්‍රය යහපත් මූලාශ්‍රයක් කියලා කියන්නේ. So ඒ වගේ දේවල් බලලා තමයි ඔබ මූලාශ්‍ර තෝරාගත යුත්තේ. මූලාශ්‍ර කියලා කියන්නේ ඔයාගේ රචනාවට, ඔයාගේ අසයින්මන්ට් එකට, ඔයාගේ පරිශ්‍රණයට ගන්න තොරතුරු ගන්නකොට තොරතුරු ගන්න තැන කොතනද, එතන යහපත්ද කියලා තෝරගන්න පිළිවෙලයි මේ කතා කරේ. I think the idea is clear. Yes, we can go ahead, ma'am.
Yes, so random PDFs and see whether these all the like articles has their author name and a list of references at the end. So yeah, check all this and wait. So this is just a quick tip for reading articles. Now we are doing reading techniques in a on incoming sessions. I mean the sessions that are to come. We are covering reading techniques, academic reading techniques, and also we are covering the IMRAD structure. But here, just this is just a quick tip for reading articles. So now academic articles are very long and they are very complex. They have a lot of difficult things to comprehend, and it's very I mean very
Yeah, most of
uh,
the
yeah very I mean very it's very hard to grasp the content in one reading. So if you're going to read an entire article, you have to just read one line, then you don't understand it, then you go again to that line. So that's why it consumes a lot of time. So you don't have to read every word in this article. So if you want to quickly grasp the main things that you want to extract from this idea, you can start with the abstract. So abstract is something which is in the first which is in the first uh, part of the paper. So this is something yeah. So this abstract says what is the paper about, and if you want to just simply now, if this is a research article, you have to if you want to just find out what was found in this experiment, you can just read the introduction section and the conclusion section, and also the abstract section, which is actually a summary of the whole experiment. So then you know what happened in the whole experiment. I mean, why was this experiment done? Why was this research done? What was the findings? How was this done? And the conclusion, what was the findings and what are the recommendations given. Then you can skim subheadings, graphs and figures. So you can just look at the graphs there, the pictures there, and get an idea quickly, and then you can skim through the subheadings, and if there are interesting subheadings to you, you can just read that subheading only. Yes, so in this way, you know that whether that article is useful to you to read it fully, taking a lot of time, and then it actually saves most of your time. So otherwise, you will be like now imagine for a dissertation, for a final year dissertation, there's a section called literature review, where like you have to read like almost like 50 articles. So reading 50 articles is very hectic. So this is a like a quick tip for how you can read articles and also this is very important where you have to select articles. Now these databases give a lots of articles, so if you want to like select which article suits for my assignment, you can use this technique to quickly decide whether this article is useful to get information for my assignment and then read it fully.
So if madam, you can permit me, I can actually
Yeah,
do a bit of a demonstration
yeah, sure,
on,
sure.
yeah. So guys, we are gonna do a bit of a demonstration on how the things that we have been discussing could be in place. I wish my screen is now visible on yours. Is it? Yeah. Here I'm searching from my Google Scholar account and I want to search something on academic writing, right? So I type academic writing in my Google Scholar search pane. And then when I entered, you see that it prompts me to a lot of articles here, right? And here you see the one in the top is actually cited by 314 times. So it's going to be very much a cited article. And if you look at the second one, it is cited by 1889. So these articles are highly cited articles. Therefore, we can actually rely on them, right? So let's see the very parts that we were discussing. So let me go to this PDF. So PDF link is given here. So I'm clicking on the PDF. So it will bring me the PDF link. So what you are now directed to is the real journal article. Now, once you get there, you see this is going to be a book, right? And on which you can find all the data starting from the content page and so on. So I'm coming back and I'm going to look at a second article. What could this be? Yes.
So can you just specify, I mean, be more specific because most of these are books.
Yeah.
So just we can go for a research article.
Yeah.
Academic writing, I mean, just something related to, do we need to, okay, academic writing difficulties or something among STEM students, difficulties STEM students of ESL learners, yeah, anything.
Yep. Yes, we are now getting two articles here for this particular search. You see, the first thing is published in International Academic Conference. So it's a conference paper. And yes, let me say academic writing and STEM. Yep. Yes. Now we are getting some articles. You see, now this is going to be a journal article. It's published in American Journal of STEM Education. And it's one of the very recent articles, 2024, 25. So one of the recent articles, let us go there and see how this article looks like. It's being downloaded. I'm taking you to the journal article now. You see, this typically is the very shape of a journal article. You see, it is marked as an article and you see which journal it is appearing in and in which volume and what is the page number reference to the particular article. Can you see? And then you see the title. This title is very important because, title itself can tell what the research is all about. අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් journal article අර මැඩම් අශ්විනී කිව්වා වගේ if you are going to read 50 articles, to read 50 articles you have to actually navigate through more than 500 articles to pick whether it is relevant to you or not. මොකද මේ database එක අපිට දෙන article සියල්ල අපිට ඕන කරන જાතියෙම තොරතුරු තියෙනව නෙවෙයි. අපිට ඕන කරන තොරතුරු හොයාගන්න නම් අපිට ඒක තියෙන තැන හොයාගන්න අපිට search කරන්න වෙනවා. පළවෙනි strategy එක තමයි go through the title. Title will give you an idea about the research. And if title cannot properly give you a better idea, then you can read the abstract. You see, the abstract is not a big deal. It's usually 100 to 150 words long. In the abstract, they give almost everything in a very summary note. You see, here this abstract tells drawing on the experience and upon reading this abstract, you can then realize, oh my God, is this a good article for me to refer? So that is the second window, or rather the second step. You search through the title and you see whether it is relevant. If it is relevant, you keep it saved. And then you go to the abstract and see whether it's really, really relevant, because it tells almost every relevant information of that particular paper. Therefore, upon reading abstract, you can surely decide whether it is relevant or not. Then, if you can see, it has an introduction, and then there is something called a literature review, which is about how others have done in line with this research. And then you will see research method, how this particular person has done this research. And then you'll be directed to the results. Results in the sense, the very particular findings that the particular person, upon doing this research, found. And then you'll jump to the next level in the article. We call them discussion and conclusion. Now, what happens in a discussion and conclusion is quite simply, one person is doing a research and he does follow a particular methodology from which he gets a result. And he's going to now compare those results with the people who have done the same research elsewhere. So there, he's setting his own research in a place among the many researchers. And then there comes the last episode, which is called implications and conclusions. So those are typically the essential parts of a journal article. And then finally, you will find references. These references are basically, to write this particular article, this particular writer happens to refer this much of research papers. Can you see? මේ ආටිකල් එක ලියන්න මේ ලියපු රචකයා එහෙම නැත්නම් author මේ ආටිකල් සියල්ල රිෆර් කරලා තියෙනවා. එතකොට ඔයාලට ඕන නම් ඒ ගැන වැඩිදුර තොරතුරු දැනගන්න ඔයාලට ඒවට ගිහිල්ලා ලින්ක් කරලා බලන්නත් පුළුවන්. So that is typically the nature of a research article. Yes, madam. Then I'll stop sharing from my end. Let us ask from our kids whether they have got something out of what we have demonstrated. Someone is raising hand. Who is that? Is it me? Ah, yes, it's me. So friends, did you get an idea about what a research paper is and where you can find it, and in which particular section of the research paper you can find your relevant information and all that? Did you get some idea about it? Minoda, thank you. And Adip also says yes. We want the response from Ishara and Umesha as well. You can respond it by simply unmuting or rather simply sending a thumbs up and all that. Well, thank you, Ishara. Yes. Yeah. So this is how you are supposed to refer. Umesha also raised hand. Yes, Umesha. Thank you. You indicate that you are also getting the idea. Well, thank you. Madam, we can go ahead with that activity we are planning to do today.
Okay. Right. So let us go to that activity. Wait. Sorry if my voice is low. Just here I can like I mean, you can hear me, right? Yes, I'm a bit not well, but hope you can hear me.
Yes, ma'am, you are
Right,
audible. You are clearly audible.
right,
No worries.
right. So, okay, now Gen AI in research. So here, okay, this comes the problem where now in like somewhere in 2023, this with the innovation of ChatGPT, and then again, I mean, the whole this academic writing concept changed, where you don't like people like you, students like you, like don't see the importance of learning academic writing because most of the students are in the notion that okay, why learn academic writing because we have generative AI so that we can generate text. uh okay, but and also now writing, I mean, using generative AI a as a tool for writing is somewhat okay, but if you are using the free versions of these Gen AI tools for research, then you have to be very much cautious because they don't replace the information they give, don't replace real academic articles. I mean, now just I mean, you'll see like they give us information and they will also like if you say to Bing Copilot, Gemini or AI to write and you give the topic and give me an article and you and also write you with IEEE citations or APA citations, and also with the link of all the article with the links list of references of all the articles you referred to, but they will give a very good article with URL links and a reference list. But at the end of the day, if you happen to check uh, one of any of these any of the sources in this reference list, you might find that most of the sources in the reference list are very much fictitious. They are not available in the internet or available anywhere, right? So the thing is that this generative AI is doing is it's generative AI. It's generating content. It has like it has a vast amount of knowledge in it, and then when we input something, he just gives you information from the prompt. He just analyzes patterns and gives us information. So now for research, it's not a good. Okay, so you can.
What I have to add here is, Puta, now generative AI, we don't refuse you to use it, right? Generative AI is one of the most wonderful and most sophisticated ways to get the help from. But what we are advising you is now generative AI is trained for one thing. What is it? Generative AI is a language model where it reads through text and it identifies certain patterns. And when you ask something from it, it goes through its training data, or rather the text that it had read earlier, and he collects a sample of that text together and synthesize, or rather create something as his own product for you to refer. දැන් මේකෙදි තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නේ තමයි එයාට තියෙන කප්පරක් අපමණක් තොරතුරු අතරින් එක රටාවකට එන තොරතුරු එක්කාසු කරලා ඔබට දුන්නට එයාට පුළුවන්කමක් නැහැ ලේසියෙන් ඒ තොරතුරු ගත්තේ කොහෙන්ද කොතනින්ද කොයි පිටුවෙන්ද කොයි පර්යේෂණ පත්‍රිකාවෙන්ද කියන එක නැවත රිෆර් කරලා දෙන්න. බැරිකම නෙවෙයි, ඒක ටිකක් සංකීර්ණ කාර්යයක් සහ ඒක ෆ්‍රී වර්ෂන් එකේ නැහැ. ඒක නිසා ඔබ උත්සාහ කළොත් ඒකෙන් ජෙනරේට් කරගත්ත ආටිකල් එකක් ශානියමයි කියලා ප්‍රොඩියුස් කරන්න ඔබ රැවටෙනවා පුතේ. රැවටෙන හේතුව තමයි ඇකඩමික් ඉන්ටග්‍රිටි, එහෙම නැත්නම් අධ්‍යයන නීත්‍යානුකූල බව. අපි අධ්‍යයන කාර්යයක් කරද්දී ඒක කරන යහ ක්‍රමවේදයක් තියෙනවා. ඒ ක්‍රමවේදයෙන් බැහැර වුණා වෙනවා. ඒක නිසා ජෙනරටිව් AI පාවිච්චි කරන්න ඒන් ගත හැකි දේවල් කරන්න. දැන් මඩම අශ්විනී මෙතන සඳහන් කරනවා වගේ you can start using generative AI to do brainstorming keywords. Do you know what is brainstorming? if you want to see where, how, and in which particular frequency a particular keyword is used. අපි හිතමු එක දැන් say for example අපි generative AI වලින් අහන ප්‍රශ්නයකදී එයාට පුළුවන් ඔයාට මූලික දේවල් ටික කියා දෙන්න. උදාහරණයක් විදිහට definition එක. ඒ definition එක evolve වෙච්ච හැටි. එහෙම නැත්නම් definitions වෙනස් වෙන හැටි. right? ඒ වගේ අදහස් දෙන්න පුළුවන් එයාට ඒව හරි වැදගත්. ඒ කාරණාවලට මේක පාවිච්චි කරන්න. ඒ වගේම
අනිත්
ඔයාට
එක not brainstorming keywords විතරක් නෙමෙයි brainstorming ideas,
yeah.
concepts, and if you are lost in a point where you need new ideas, it can give you new ideas. I mean, generate outlines or anything. But yeah,
ඔව් ඒ විදිහට පුතේ you know generative AI පාවිච්චි කරන්න කුමක් සඳහාද? ඔබේ ප්‍රශ්නය එයාලව කර ගැනීම සඳහා නෙවෙයි ඔබේ ප්‍රශ්නයට අවශ්‍ය කරන ප්‍රවේශයන් සොයා ගන්නට උදව්කරුවෙක් විදියට. right? well and ඔයාට ඕන නම් ලොකු ජර්නල් ආටිකල් එකක් ඔයා අතේ තියෙනවා නම් ඒ ජර්නල් ආටිකල් එක ගොඩක් දිගයි නම් සංකීර්ණයි නම් ඔයාට පුළුවන් ChatGPT වගේ එහෙම නැත්නම් වෙන generative AI එකකට කියන්න ඒක අප්ලෝඩ් කරලා ඔයාට ඕන කරන සමරි එකක් එහෙම නැත්නම් ඔයාට ඕන කරන gist එකක් ඔයාට ඕන කරන එක්ස්ට්‍රැක්ට් එකක් ඒකෙන් අරන් දෙන්න කියන වගේ දේවල් කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේ දේවල් වලට ජෙනරටිව් AI පාවිච්චි කරාට කමක් නැහැ. මොකද එතකොට එයාගේ දැනුම පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ ඔයා දෙන සෝස් එක උඩ. ඔයා දෙන සෝස් එක දිහා බලලා තමයි එයා ඔයාට ඕන දේ හොයලා දෙන්නේ. එතකොට ඒක ටිකක් නිර්වද්‍යයි. එයා දන්න ඔක්කොම සෝසස් රෙෆර් කරන්න යනවට වඩා. පැහැදිලි නේද අපි කියන දේ? Wish that you are getting what we are telling. Right? Okay, madam. We can go ahead. Can you move to the next slide, please? Yes. Now we are going to do a real experiment. දැන් ඔයාලට සිද්ධ වෙනවා අපිත් එක්කම මේ experiment එකට සම්බන්ධ වෙන්න. Right? We have a topic. What is the topic? We are going to search some data sources from internet and from databases on this very topic. What is the topic? Climate resilient. Madam, yes. Yes, we are here. Yes. We are going to evaluate and compare. Yes. අපි දැන් ලෑස්ති වෙන්නේ STEM topic එකක් තෝරගන්න. So shall we well, let us ask from you all for a topic that you like to search today in our first session with generative AI and databases. We would love to get a topic that you like. So all 4 of you can suggest a topic that you like most to search information for. Quickly send us in your chat. What do you like us to take as today's? Yes. Adipa sent his first reference, that is on solar power. Okay. What about the others? What do you like us to search today? Solar power is a choice, madam.
I mean, you don't need to go for these options.
Yeah.
Only you can just write if you're interested in a certain STEM topic. I mean, if you're interested in how much like the influence of solar power on the electricity consumption patterns of pattern of peoples, or then robotics. Now if you're going to robotics, like how a certain theory in physics or someone related to robotics, or someone like be like specific, or someone tell some like give us something like you are very curious about in searching about instead. It's better,
Yeah.
like make it more focused, so then we can
ඔගොල්ලෝ
go
වඩාම කැමති මාතෘකාවක් දෙන්න අපිට. ඒක රිසර්ච් ටොපික් එකක් වෙන්න ඕන නැහැ. කැමති ඕනම දෙයක්. අපි එකෙන් හොයලා බලමු. අද දවසේ අපේ පළවෙනි එක්ස්පෙරිමන්ට් එක විදියට අපි බලමු කොහොමද ජර්නල් ආටිකල් එකකයි ජෙනරටිව් AI ප්‍රොඩක්ෂන් එකයි වෙනස කියලා. teledrama එකක් ගැන අර වෙන මොකක් හරි කැමති එකක් අහන්න අපි. None of you happen to ask about teledrama, but I'm just joking. Yeah. Yes. Well, Umesha Priyangani is fond of talking about time traveling, ma'am.
Right. So can you be specific about time travel? I mean, what do you want to uh, know
So
about time
we,
travel?
we, we'll help her.
Okay.
Now, Metsulini is asking about radio waves inside human body. Wow. So can we, yes, radio waves inside human body. That's going to be again another interesting
Yeah,
topic.
yeah, yeah.
Guys, would you like to go for this particular topic? Because Minoda's topic seemed to be quite interesting. Shall we all go for that? Radio waves inside human body. If you do like, put your thumbs up. Thank you, Ushara. Minoda has already given her consent. Umesha and Adipa, do you like to go and search what is? Yes, Umesha, thank you. And Minod, yes. Adipa also says yes. Okay, okay. So we'll go. Now, I want you all to go into Google Scholar first and then search on this topic. So what is it? Radio waves inside human body. So we are going to try this, how we can do it. So let me try it from my end. So I'll be stop sharing this and I'm inviting you all to do the same. Yes. Go to Google Scholar and search for the very term. And you will see lots of articles are coming in, and from which find an article from an article, or it might bring many articles. Yes. Do you want to see what my Google Scholar prompted me? Let me show you. Here is what my Google Scholar account directed me to. You see, lots of articles are coming in, right? The effect of human body in our indoor radio wave propagation, pathological effects of radio waves, evaluating of possible methods and approaches for registering electromagnetic waves, assessment of induced radio frequency electromagnetic fields in various anatomical human body models, registration of electromagnetic waves emitted from the human body, the influence of wave propagation mode in specific absorption, electromagnetic waves. Now you see, when you are searching it in a journal database like Google Scholar, you see that it brings many angles, many dimensions of the topic. And let us do the same with a generative AI, or rather a generative AI topic. Now we are going to look at how ChatGPT is going to give us an article from this, right? So I'm typing my thing, radio waves inside human body. Now I can simply type my title, but I rather prefer, rather than simply typing the title, you have to command the generative AI to what to do, right? So you see, I want to study on radio waves inside human body. Give me an
No, sir.
outline.
Prompt. No, 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 no. Prompt. Don't you don't have to give the prompts.
Okay,
So
okay, okay.
if you're
We'll
going to
start
give
with,
the
yeah.
prompt,
We'll go ahead with the topic itself, right? Radio waves inside human body. So we'll search what it gives. You see, it starts generating. Can you see? Now my version is a bit of our version is actually not the free version. Therefore, we are given a bit of a more authentic data. But if you are using the free version, you might be getting a different outcome, right?
So shall I do the demo from my end?
Yes, please. We wish that you all are doing your things on your end. And if any of you would love to share your screen with us, you are free to. Now it is Madam Ashwini sharing her window. Yes.
Okay, this is just, we'll see. We'll go for because it's the free version. We'll see what it offers.
Yep.
So this is the free version now. Let's go to Google Scholar. Okay. Now see. Okay. Now see. Wait. Now just Metsudeni needed to know about the effect of radio waves on the human body, right? Effect of radio waves on the human body. And okay. See.
Now you would see on top of the topic, Madam Ashwini is actually prompting in the sense instructing the generative AI what to do. So now it is thinking and it is searching and now it prompts an article. Can you see?
So okay. Right. Now
Now this time she says give a full article to explain its effect. Now this time, unlike the other search engines, generative AI can have a reference on what is meant by it, right? It means what you suggested earlier. කලින් දීපු එක it කියලා එයා ගන්න. You see, it generates lots of information. And you might amaze how much information can it generate. බලන්නකො ඔන්න දැන් reference list එකකුත් දුන්නා මෙයා. Right? And Madam Ashwini, shall we test the authenticity of this?
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah. දැන් බලන්න එයා දීපු ආටිකල් එකේ reference එක අපි search කරලා බලන්න ඇත්තටම තියනවාද කියලා. Right?
So this is available.
Right.
Right. But now, okay.
We'll try one more. I mean, one of the other references. Yeah, we'll try that. You might wonder what we are doing. We are actually doing, ChatGPT has generated some article or rather some
Now see,
content.
this is not available, right? This whole thing is not available. Rubin
Yes.
G.J. et al. 2010, two people with electrical hypercenter react to mobile phone based signals. Now this article is actually not available.
Yeah.
There's no existing article like this. So this is by A. Cohen. So this is by M. Diodin, D. Belpomim, and 2010. There's no anything called 2010 appearing. So what is this journal? Environmental Health Perspectives. I mean, it's again. I mean, it's not existing. I mean, we'll
Yeah.
just search for environment health perspectives. If there's an article for journal, okay, see, environment health perspectives is there, right? Is there, but here now in environmental health perspectives, we'll search for that. Yeah, we'll go to environmental health perspective journal, and then we'll see whether this article. Now, what is this? Source 118. 118, journal 118, volume 118. We'll go to 118. Wait. Or else, okay.
You can directly search even.
Yeah. Let's just go for this person's name. Rubin J. Or find someone.
You see, Rubin J's articles are coming, but they are not on the topic given.
Yeah, so what is the topic here? Do people with electrical hypersensitivity react to mobile phone based station signals? So
You can go into the second page, third page, and so on. You can actually
Yes,
see
but
whether, yeah, if there was an article of that nature, it should be prompted at the very beginning because we have given
yeah,
almost entire data.
yeah, there's no certain article. Yes, right.
So what is the message you got, my dear guys? What is the message you got? Now you must be knowing that some of the articles or other contents generated by generative AI language models are actually reliable because they are coming out of a bigger database. But still, in academic writing, we should be able to properly say from which particular article, from which particular source we took it. ChatGPT is not capable, generative AI is not capable sometimes to give us the real authentic journal source. That's why we often advise you to go to the real articles which are available in.
Now there's a concept called electromagnetic hypersensitivity, and ChatGPT says this source says that double-blind studies have shown that affected individuals cannot reliably detect radio frequency exposure. Studies suggesting that symptoms may be related to psychological factors. It's called a nocebo effect, right? So it is this now this is a certain suggestion or a certain I mean this is not a suggestion even. This is a like he's saying that this is a finding that is founded by this person, right? Called
Yeah.
Rubin J. et al. And it is this published in this article. But actually when we are like actually in this kind of journal article or something is not exist. And yeah, so there, yeah,
ඒක තමයි අපි කිව්වේ ගොඩක් කරලා chat GPT fictitious. ඒගොල්ලෝ නිර්මාණය කරලා දෙනවා අපිට source එකක්. හැබැයි එහෙම source එකක් ඇත්තටම නැහැ. academic integrity කියන එක අපි එතනදී violate කරා වෙනවා අනික් පැත්තෙන්. අපි cheat කරන්න හදන්නේ සමහර විට අපේ assignment එකේ අපිව cheat වෙලා අපි දන්නේම නැතුව chat GPT වලින්. ඒක නිසා හැම විටම අපි ඔයාලට යෝජනා කරනවා. When you're doing research, keep in mind that ChatGPT can do something, but don't rely on it totally. And on the other hand, the best way is to go to the direct databases where the research is available and go there and find the article and bring that article back to the ChatGPT and upload it. And with that uploading, you can work with that article with the help of ChatGPT's help, right? So ChatGPT's capacity can be used to analyze data we need to extract from an article which we can feed in to ChatGPT. ඒක නිසා හරියටම තොරතුර ආටිකල් එක හොයාගෙන ඒක ChatGPT එකට feed කරලා එයාගෙන් ගන්න පුළුවන් වැඩක් ගත්තට කමක් නැහැ දරුවනේ. කිසිවිටකත් ChatGPT දෙන resource එක මත පදනම්ව දේවල් academically කරන්න යන්න එපා. That's our take home message.
yeah.
Yes,
So
madam?
we'll search now. We in ChatGPT we searched on effect of radio waves on the human body, and we have a certain journal article from Web of Medicine, Journal of Medicine, which is from Google Scholar. So we just go to this article and see of Medicine, Journal of Medicine, Practicing and Nursing. And here, okay, we'll go to the PDF. Right. And here says technological advancement, and also there's something. And yeah, so it explains about the effect. Yeah. So mm, now see, this is also not a credible, so much credible source. You can guess because see the referencing style of this article. So it's always, it's all, it's not properly formatted. Now, if we go to a proper article, journal article, or any article, it now these are properly formatted. But okay, now we just go to one source. Right? See, these are, we'll see whether it is credible. Yeah, it's credible, right? We have the source. And if we go to, okay, we can go to what again? This source, medical device reliability and measuring instrument specifications. We'll see if there's a source like that.
මේ ඔබ දකින්නේ පුතේ කොහොමද අපි හොයාගන්න සෝස් එක ඔතෙන්ටික් කියලා ඩබල් චෙක් කරගන්නේ. right?
Here, again, this is now. This is not a. I said I said that is not a credible article, that journal article. Because see, this is again when you go to this link, this මෙන්න මේක තමයි අපි යෝනේ. But there's no certain article, right? And see in Google Scholar, this article didn't have any citations, right? This article didn't have citations.
ඒ කියන්නේ මෙයාගේ
So
තොරතුරු පාවිච්චි කරලා වෙන
yeah,
කවුරුත් අලුත් දෙයක් කරලා නැහැ. ඒක ඉන්ඩිකේටර් එකක් ඔයාට.
so
අපිත්
this
ගත
is not
යුතුද?
a very good source of information for you to rely on. We'll go to this and see whether this is a good source. Okay. The effect of human body on Indio radio wave propagation of 5764 gigahertz, right? I'll see, we'll see if it offers a PDF. No, it doesn't offer the PDF. So if you want the PDF, you can access through your institution. So if your university has this access to this particular database, you can use your university email and get this. And there's like හොරපාරෙන් යන විදියක් තියෙනවා. If you get the DOI number, yes, this DOI number is, now this is the DOI number. So do I have to say that?
I think yes, we are from global north, global south.
Yeah.
අපි පුතේ ගෝලීය දකුණේ ඉන්න අය විදිහට අපිට හැම විටම සල්ලි ගෙවලා තොරතුරු ගන්න පුළුවන් කමක් නැහැ. ඒ නිසා අපිට සිද්ධ වෙනවා සමහර විට පුළුවන් කොයි ක්‍රමෙන් හරි තොරතුරු ගන්න. ඒක නිසා මම හිතන්නේ මේ තොරතුරු දීම නරක දෙයක් නෙමෙයි. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so my DOI කියන්නේ digital object identification number. So this is unique to every digital source of information. So if we just copy the link, copy link address, and there's this pirating site, pirate sites like iHub, like we'll see whether it works. Just copy paste the DO number and see whether it is available. Yeah, it's available. So yeah, you can download it here into your computer. So then you don't have to pay to get the article. You just can uh, for free for free. It's like a horaparing yaneka, but you can get the full article and we'll read the article. So we will see the authors are from the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering, University of
Manitoba, Canada.
Manitoba, Canada, right? Yeah, yeah. So University of Manitoba is a well-reputed university. So I think this is a good uh, article, it seems. So yeah, right. So it has the results and acknowledgement and everything.
Yes, guys.
Right.
So
So
what we
if we
did
go
was,
to some kind of a refer, yeah.
yeah, what we were doing here was helping you to navigate through real articles where the real data, authentic data could be found. And we were genuinely showing you off some of the ways that you can access even the things that we need to pay if we are trying it to reach legibly. But forget about the way that we reach there. We are not going to sell their product to someone else, but we are going to get the knowledge available therein. So so, all in all, what we are telling you all is this. When you are searching for an article or journal information or other information from the uh, vastly available databases, make sure that you find the authentic data, authentic case alone, and don't be cheated by simply taking something which is fictitious. ඔයාලට නිර්මාණය කරලා දෙන මූලාශ්‍රයක් දැක්විය නොහැකි දේවල් මත පදනම් වෙලා දේවල් කරන්න යන්න එපා. එහෙම වුණොත් ඔගොල්ලොත් රැවටෙනවා. ඔගොල්ලන්ගේ අරමුණත් රැවටෙනවා. Yes. Madam, shall we go back and give them the assignment for the day so that we can jump quickly into the last someone happened to raise hand. Was it me or someone else? Yes. Now we are quickly jumping into a group activity. මේක අප්ලෝඩ් කරන්න අපි වින්ඩෝ එක හදලා තියෙනවා ඔයාලගේ LMS එකේ. What you are supposed to do, it's
So this is not a group activity.
yeah,
We
it's
can
an
make it
individual activity.
individual.
Yeah. So it's a simple individual activity. Everyone be mindful about this. Now you are trying to search something in either windows. The first thing is you're going to try it in a database like Google Scholar or any database. And secondly, you are going to find the same article from generative AI, right? So what you're going to do, you choose two articles from generative AI and the actual databases, and you are going to simply compare the content in the two, right? And you have to answer these questions. Which article was clearer? Which one had more details or real data, right? And ඔය කතන්දරේ identify කරගත්තට පස්සේ, then on that topic, you are going to write a 150 word summary on that particular article or other source you selected. So that is what you're supposed to do. Uploading instructions are also given, right? We'll make the uploading window correctly, and then you can start uploading after doing this. And yes. මේක ඉවරුණාට පස්සේ දරුවනේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ දෙයක් කරන්න ඕනේ. What's it? You have to write a
You can,
reflection.
yes, wait. Gen AI, any Gen AI tool, no, you don't have to just rely on only ChatGPT. You can use any generative AI tool.
Yes, there are lots of tools. If you just do a simple Google search, you will find more than dozen of generative AI tools now available free. So we need something more in addition to this comparison. What is it? We actually want you to write a reflection. ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවනේ reflection එකක් කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා. අවලෝකනයක් කරනවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් අපි ආපහු හැරිලා බලනවා අපි කරපු වැඩේ දිහා. මොකද්ද? generative AI වලින් article එකක් generate කරගන්න එක අනික් පැත්තෙන් ඇත්තටම research database එකට ගිහිල්ලා article එකක් අරන් ඒකේ තොරතුරු ගන්න එක. මෙන්න මේ අත්දැකීම පිළිබඳව ඔයාගේ ආපසු හැරී බැලීම. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඔයාගේ අවලෝකනය. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඔයාට ඒ අත්දැකීම කොහොමද දැනෙන්නේ කියන එක ගැන අපිට වචන කීපයකින් ලියලා ඒක ඔයාලගේ Google WhatsApp group එකේ දාන්න කියලා අපි යෝජනා කරනවා. අපි ඒ වෙනුවෙනුත් window එකක් create කරන්න forum එකක් on LMS ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ Moodle page එකේ අපි create කරන්නම් forum එකක්. එතන ඔයාලට ඔයාගේ reflection ලියන්න පුළුවන් මේ කරපු ක්‍රියාවලිය ගැන මේ කරපු සමස්ත ක්‍රියාවලිය ගැන ඒකෙන් ඔයාලට දැනුනේ මොකද්ද? ඔබ ඉගෙන ගත්ත දේ මොකද්ද කියලා අපිට කියන්න. Did I correctly articulate it, ma'am?
Yes.
So guys, that was what we have planned for you today. And in addition to that, we have to give a bit of a hope for tomorrow. Tomorrow in the sense next session. What we are going to do in the next session will not be simply about, generative AI or the research articles or anything. We are going to start with the real basics of language where we are going to thrive in English medium education. අපිට English medium STEM education එකට ඕන කරන real ground level language aspects වලින් අපි පටන් ගන්නවා from next week onwards. Next week we'll be looking at your vocabulary. So it's not easy for someone to start with vocabulary lesson in one day and finish it, but we'll be showing you off how many and what sort of vocabulary and what strategies of vocabulary learning can be used for you to improve your vocabulary, particularly the technical, academic, and scientific STEM related vocabulary to make your life easy to read and understand, to write and produce. For all that, you need a firm, very strong vocabulary. And we'll be helping you with that aspect next week. Now, we are going to invite you all to ask any questions if you have got to clear from the things we've discussed today. And Madam Ashwini can add anything if you have got to add as remarks. දරුවනේ ඔබට කිසියම් ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා නම් එහෙම නැත්නම් අද දවසේ සෙෂන් එකේ වෙච්ච දේවල් ගැන අහන්න යමක් තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න පුළුවන්. ඔයාලට ඕන භාෂාවක් පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන් ඔයාගේ ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න. ඕන භාෂාවක් කිව්වට ප්‍රංශ ජර්මන් වගේ වයින් අහන්න එපා. අපි දන්නේ සිංහල සහ ඉංග්‍රීසි පමණයි දැනට. හොඳයි අපි එක එක්කෙනාගෙන් අහමු how did you feel it? Adeep, can you start telling us what did you learn today, number one? Number two, how this session has been or had been? Adeep අපිට කියන්න ඔයාගේ අත්දැකීම කොහොමද කියලා අද ඉගෙන ගත්ත දේවල් ගැන? Adeep sent it in chat. Yes. He articulates that session has been very useful. I think Thank you, Adip. What about the others? Can I hear from, yeah, yes. And he says he's looking forward to work on those things. Yes. Do it because that's why we set a homework as well. ඔව් ඔය කියපු දේවල් එක වැඩ කරන්න එයා බලාපොරොත්තු වෙමින් ඉන්නවා. Yes. What about Minoda, Umesha and Ishara? How do you feel it? Just tell us whether the explanation is clear and whether you can learn something out of the things that we taught. You could learn something out of the things we taught. At least with the reaction, you can indicate how you felt. Okay, Madam Ashwini. Madam Ashwini අපි අවසර දෙනවා session එකෙන් ඉවත් වෙන්න. Goodbye, Madam Ashwini. Good night.
Yeah, good night, students. I hope we have covered almost, yeah, it's almost 9. So we thought of like starting vocabulary next Wednesday. So good night.
Good night, everyone. Good night, everyone. Then we can wind up for the day. And good night. Yes. Let's meet next Wednesday with the same spirit. Good night, everyone.